Welcome back to Penguin Game Day. Again, the Penguins at home against Northern Iowa on Saturday afternoon at 12 noon. You can get your tickets at the YSU ticket office or online. We're happy to be joined by Joe Schafer, the defensive coordinator for Youngstown State. Joe, thanks for taking the time tonight in this virtual world we live in. How have things been going here at Youngstown State since you first got here about a year ago?
Oh, well, thanks for having me. And it's been going great. It's been a great time with great people. So obviously, due to the pandemic and things like that, it's been a bit of a wild 12 months, but it's been a good time.
Joe, you're an Ohio native. You're from Parma, Ohio. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I think you went to Benedictine High School. Is that right? So you have some ties to Northeast Ohio here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Grew up in, like you said, Parma Heights, Ohio. Went to Benedictine High School. So very familiar with the Youngstown area, the Moonies and the Ursulines and things like that. And then went on to Bowling Green, where I played for Coach Phillips my last couple of years there and got my degree from Bowling Green, and then got into the coaching world, GA'd for a few years, and then ended up being the head coach at Benedictine High School as well, and bounced around at a number of universities, where I also worked with Coach Phillips at Iowa State University, and then made my way back here after 2 years at John Carroll. So,
Joe, obviously the layoff that you guys had because of the pandemic, not playing in the fall of 2020, did that help you guys as a staff and help you, come up with the defenses?
Well, I think it did. I think it definitely helped us from a personal standpoint. It was a rough 12 months, just for our kids and just for staff and guys moving their families here and things like that. So I think it helped our staff kind of go through that together. A lot more camaraderie and just trying to figure out and establish the best way to communicate with our kids while we were quarantined for a number of months there. And then everybody, really, our entire defensive staff came from different universities, different previous jobs. We hadn't worked together technically. So to kind of share those ideas gave us a little bit more time to do that. And I like the way it all came together. And the biggest thing for us as a defensive staff is just the communication we have with our kids, getting on the same language, using the same terminology, the same vocabulary. Obviously that helped when you weren't rushed right into something, and you kind of you look back on it in hindsight, and it probably did help a little bit.
Sure. Joe, when fans come to the game on Saturday, a limited amount of 3,600, what type of defense are they going to see in person?
Yeah, I think the number one thing for us is, and we've talked about it, is just we want to keep it really simple for our guys. Keep it simple, let them play fast. Biggest things we talk about are, at the end of the day, can we get lined up? Can we play harder than they do for as long as it takes? And at the end of the game, however long it takes, we sort it out at the end.
Joe, we have about 30 seconds. A lot of young guys saw action on Sunday against North Dakota State. How fast did they grow up, and how fast do they need to grow up throughout these 8 games?
You know what? They did an awesome job. Was proud of those guys. You're right. Some young guys got thrown in there in some situations, but I appreciate them for that. They didn't flinch. And that experience is going to pay dividends every week that we move forward here.
Coach, I appreciate your time tonight. Joe Schafer, the defensive coordinator for Youngstown State, joining us tonight. Best of luck on Saturday against Northern Iowa and throughout the rest of this 8-game spring schedule, Joe.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, Joe Schafer, the defensive coordinator for the Penguins. We'll be back to wrap things up with Coach Phillips coming up next.